of the week, Mary of Magdala came to the tomb early in the morning while it was still dark and saw the stone removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved and said to them, "They have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we don't know where they put him." So Peter and the other disciple went out and came to the tomb. They both ran, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and arrived at the tomb first. He bent down and saw the burial cloths there, but did not go in. When Simon Peter arrived after him, he went into the tomb and saw the burial cloths there, and the cloth that had covered his head, not with the burial cloths, but rolled up in a separate place. Then the other disciple also went in, the one who had arrived at the tomb first, and he saw and believed, for they did not yet understand the scripture that he had to rise from the dead. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all doing? Great. You know, it dawned upon me, this is the 31st Easter I have been with you. That's a lot of Easters, isn't it? And this is also the last one, because I think most of you know I'm going to be retiring at the end of June. So I was thinking, what would I really like to say to you on this 31st Easter? And it came to mind a story that I told years ago here that people always seem to remember. It was probably the best Easter homily I ever gave. And it's basically just a story. I thought, I want to tell the story again for you on this Easter. And the story I tell you is a true story. A true story. And it's about a woman, a young woman in her mid-30s who was terminally ill, who had about 3 weeks to live. I want you to picture the scene with me. So she called her parish priest in to help plan her funeral. And they talked about, the songs that they wanted, the music they wanted at the funeral, about the scripture readings that they wanted read. And everything seemed to be very much in place. So the priest stood up, ready to leave. And then the young woman said, "Wait, Father, there's one more thing, and it's very important." So he looked at her, "Yes. I want to be buried with a fork in my right hand." This startled the priest. He says, "You're a little surprised, Father?" "Yes, I'm more than a little surprised." "What do you mean?" He says, "Let me tell you what I mean. When I was a little girl, my grandmother and I would come to all of these church suppers, potlucks and dinners and things. And my grandmother, when the main course was finished, my grandmother would always lean over to me and say, "Keep your fork. The best is yet to come." And she says, she meant dessert. And I love dessert. Chocolate cake or apple pie or whatever. But that's what it was. Keep your fork. The best is yet to come. So she said, "Father, I want to be laid out with a fork in my right hand. And as people walk by, they're going to wonder, what's with the fork?" And then you can tell them. You can tell them, "Keep your fork. The best is yet to come." Her simple faith in everlasting life, in life after death, in resurrection to glorious new life, Her simple faith, expressed by that fork, was better than any homily could give. Isn't that what Easter's all about? Today, Easter Sunday, Jesus Christ is risen from the dead to glorious new life, beyond our understanding. And Jesus is the firstborn from the dead. What does that mean? It means that you and I are going to follow. We are going to follow Jesus into resurrection to glorious new life, just like he did on this Easter Sunday. Listen to St. Paul. St. Paul said, Jesus is going to remake this lowly body of ours and refashion it according to the pattern of his own glorious body. That's what Easter's all about. The resurrection of Jesus and our own future resurrection. What a future we have. It's really almost too much to believe. It's beyond our understanding, but we believe it simply because Jesus promised it to us. Yes. So can't you just see on this Easter Sunday morning the glorious risen Jesus smiling down on us and saying to you and to me, keep your fork. The best is yet to come. Happy Easter.